my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player and go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, what we're going to review this week?
Well, Dave, our good friend Helen on Patreon has picked a movie from 1998. I was very impressionable for a 19-year-old Chris, Dave, at the time. You know, I with my wife-to-be, but I do remember renting this one from Blockbuster. So this one stars Kevin Bacon, Matt Dillon, Neve Campbell, but more importantly, Dave, it stars Denise Richards. This one is Wild Things. Now, obviously, as an ex-Blockbuster employee, Dave, I reckon this was hot property, but do you remember the first time you watched this?
Yeah, well, actually, the first time was this last week, but I do remember it coming into the video shop.
Yeah.
No, I do remember. Right, because I've mentioned this before about being in a tense relationship with quite a lot of jealousy and stuff, but I do remember it coming into the video shop. Now, it was placed always on the bottom shelf, and I always felt like it should have been more like on the top shelf. But the Blockbusters didn't quite work that way. It was on the bottom there. I always remember thinking, oh, I really want to watch that. But the thing is, there were two problems with it. I would never get, I would never be able to convince my partner at the time. I think there's a neo-noir crime thriller this is, because the cover just looks so tantalizing, and there was that. But also, there was a fair crew of us at the Blockbuster. I was in one of those big old megastores by this point when this came out. So, everything's logged, what you take out the shop, so you have your free rentals and stuff. But, when the shop's quiet or whatever, you're just like, oh, let's see what such a body's been reviewing. So every fucker would know, you've been taking Wild Things, and, oh, look at that, oh, bit of Red Shoe Diaries as well. I fucking never rented anything like that out. So it was always one of those. And I thought, okay, even when it came out of that relationship, it just kind of fell out of my mind. It would come up very occasionally, just, I don't know, through searching for whatever. Sounds wrong that, doesn't it? But, and you just feel, oh yeah, Wild Things, I must watch that at some point. But yeah, I never have done up until this last week, Chris. Now, how about yourself?
Well, Dave, obviously, 1998, this came out, so it's probably March 98, probably came out about 99 in the UK on rental, and we were well blockbustered up there. This is at the point where I was fucking buying every episode of Friends that came out and double video, Scart leading it, Dave, to keep them. But so I did watch this. I watched this with Sam. It was definitely a cushion job, Dave. I think I watched it maybe with Samantha with a cushion. On my lap. Remember Denise Richards. This was the movie that made me think, oh my God, I've got such a crush on her. And I'd seen around those time Starship Troopers and all that. Obviously never seen Tammy and the T-Rex. But she was around about the same age as me. I think she's actually a couple of years older. I think she's about 53 inches, something like that. But I was absolutely transfixed. Actually, she just had such an unusual look, but so pretty. And yeah, I just thought she was so sexy in this, Dave. Got to say, I've got a few question marks now, Dave, as a 45-year-old man. But at the time, I was all in because I was about 19. So I was like, oh, she is stunning. So yeah, knew obviously Neve Campbell as well because of Scream. Loved the Scream movie. The first one had just been out and she was actually filming the second one just after this. So knew exactly Matt Dillon, Kevin Bacon. So yeah, I remember watching it. And I'm with you. I think I've only watched this. First time you've watched it this week. I've watched this maybe once before. I may, years ago, have looked on YouTube, Dave, for certain scenes, but other than that, definitely only watched it from start to finish once. So this is my second time. So I was quite interested to see where I stood with it. And I also got a bit confused as well because Neve Campbell's in a movie with Ryan Philippe, and I think it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think that's quite a similar type movie. I'm sure there's a threesome in that. So when we said we were doing it last week, and then when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, it's this one, but it crossed over a little bit. I thought Ryan Philippe was in this one, but he's not. But yeah, I do remember this very well. And ultimately, I think when we watched it, I think Sam enjoyed it as well. So I did get away with that, Dave, even if I was sort of walking with certain things around my wrist, my tracksuit bottom elasticated band when I had to go and get a drink or anything like that. But there you go.
So I was listening back because obviously when I was doing the editing and stuff last week, we were watching the trailer and you were like, I forgot there was a story to this. Yeah, but there is a story, and I'm sure we'll get into that. So, Chris, should we get into our trailer?
Let's go.
We've come to the halfway point of our senior seminars. Our guests today come from the Blue Bay Police Department.
Why don't we begin with a question? What is a sex crime?
Not getting any.
Welcome to the town of Blue Bay.
Hi, Mr. Lombardo.
Hey, girls.
So where's your hose, Mr. Lombardo?
Where innocence can seduce.
He started rubbing my shoulders.
Accusations can destroy.
I'm innocent.
You guys do sex crimes, right?
When was this that Sam Lombardo gave you the ride?
Did Sam Lombardo rape you?
Yeah, okay, he did. He pushed me to the floor.
And appearances can deceive.
Kelly said that we should do this to hurt Mr. Lombardo. She found out that Mr. Lombardo was in love with her mom, and that was it.
You skank! You know how my mom's paying you off? She's breaking my trust.
We bought it hook, line, and sinker. Now they're getting away with $8 million of Sandra Van Ryan's money.
You want my gut?
There's more to this story than you know.
After tonight, the three of us are not to be seen together again.
After tonight?
I was curious about how you see things working out for you and Sam and Susie.
Excuse me?
I mean, it's hard enough for one person to keep a secret, let alone three. Especially when two of them are in love.
You don't really think Kelly and Sam are going to share that money with you, do you?
Leave me alone.
There is no case. Get out of these people's lives.
Sam, I'm really nervous.
I need you to be there for me tonight. We gotta stick to the plan.
There's no one to trust.
You can trust me.
I'd keep a real close eye on my new friends if I were you.
She's gonna blow it.
Don't touch me!
Wild things.
Two's company, three's a crowd.
Can I play too? Or is it just for boys?
In the upscale Miami suburb of Blue Bay, wealthy student Kelly Van Ryan accuses her high school guidance counselor Sam Lombardo of raping her. Following the accusation, her outcast classmate Susie Toller, who comes from a poor family in the Everglades, makes a similar accusation. Sam hires attorney Kenneth Bowden to defend him. At the trial, Susie succumbs to pressure during the cross-examination and admits that she and Kelly concocted the false allegations to get revenge on Sam. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
Well, it's interesting, though, because that opening, there's a lot there in the movie, isn't there? How it starts and that. And it's funny because it starts very similar with the music, with the camera coming into the high school and obviously the extras sort of looking at the camera, walking past everything. But it feels a little bit like how, I think it's Scream 2 starts something similar like that, where the camera's walking and they've obviously cued everyone to come and it's like this busy high school. And then I'd forgotten a lot of this movie, I'll be honest with you, Dave, because there's certain bits of it I was like, I don't remember. And then I was like, oh, shit, right. And then all of a sudden a switch came on about when they got to the court case. I was like, oh, I know exactly what happens now. But I was still going with it. But yeah, let's be honest here, Dave. Fucking Matt Dillon, Sam Lombardo, he's definitely on Operation U-Tree's fucking wanted list, isn't he? I mean, come on. He starts off with the seminar, doesn't he? Like, they're all there in that fucking auditorium. He's chatting away, sex, and he'll go, woo! Crime.
Not getting any.
Yeah. And then you see Denise Richards, and we just do see Denise Richards, because we've had about 2 minutes of them just sort of walking through the school, seeing all the high school kids dicking around and that. And straight away, she's giving him the eye and to her mate and that, and you're like, okay, fair enough. And then it's like, at the school, he's got this fucking boat as the cheerleading, and he literally stops, and I'm like, well, this is Rita Sue and Bob 2 on another level. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally with that kid on his boat in here and all that, and he looks at her, and she's doing the look and all this, and I'm like, well, he's a fucking pedo then, isn't he, really? Let's be honest. I mean, she's supposed to be 17 in this movie. I don't know what the laws are in America, but...
She was supposed to be, but she was 27, the actress.
Yeah.
So I mean, that made it a bit better, didn't it, in terms of the movie and how it aged and stuff.
Well, it made me feel better how I felt about her as well, Dave. So I'll be honest with you, even watching it now, I was like, well, but I think what's interesting is like the way it sets it up is like she's this rich kid, isn't she? And Dave, let's be honest there. His girlfriend, she goes through the house, Denise Richards and a mate, were washing his fucking car or whatever it's, or his Jeep. And his girlfriend turns up, who you spotted. I'm not going to say who it is. Who is that, his girlfriend, Dave, who's on his shoulder?
Well, it's Ralph Macchio's missus, isn't it, from Cobra Kai?
Yep. Yeah, it is.
How did you not recognise her?
I didn't. I wasn't concentrating on her.
Yeah,
she's good looking as well. But she doesn't really twig. Like, she sort of does, but Denise Richards is literally saying to Matt Dillon, get your clothes off right now, and you are going to give me the best 30 seconds of my life. And she's looking, and he goes, it's for charity, it's fine, you know what I mean? And she's there washing the fucking car. She's covered in, Dave, I'm getting a bit
soapy suds.
Let's see how my fucking blood pressure fucking check her out. But yeah, she's all soaked up and everything, and then goes back. And the next minute, we get this whole thing where she's sort of trying it on, and he's like, no. But I love the way it's shot. It's the innuendo of at first of like, well, what the fuck's happened? Has he actually been tempted? Has he cheated on her? He's dismissed his missus, like he gets hit on by these girls every fucking day. So I think it starts really, really well, and it gives irrespective of me being a fucking, like absolutely still cooing over Denise Richards, so sort of thinking it's still got a really, really good story, I think.
I think the story is good, and I just mentioned a couple of things, because you said about Operation U-Tree, it just flashed up. It's probably old footage, but it just flashed up on my social media feed. It was a sketch by Frank Skinner, and he was saying about how he came into a bit of money, so he was feeling quite flush when he became famous and stuff. So people had said to him, to invest in an art collection. So he thought, well, that's a good idea. Seems like a safe investment, but I just wish I hadn't invested exclusively in Rolf Harris stuff. But which I thought was a good one. But because I'm watching this for the first time now, I'd said about Blockbuster, I do remember. So you had the videos playing. They ran for about 2 hours. So I remember this one playing, and there's two sound bites, if you like. So there's the like Kevin Bacon saying, what's a sex crime or whatever, and then you've got the kid not getting any. I remember that playing fucking over and over again on every bastard shift. But also the hi, Mr. Lombardo. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. But I don't remember anything else. So I've come in with almost no context other than, well, it's going to be a bit of sauciness, in this movie. That's like literally, and obviously we watched the trailer last week. But then when they're doing the whole car wash thing, the gratuitous car wash, I wonder if Helen's thinking and waiting for us to dissect the plot here and the intricacies and the twists and turns. We're just talking about Denise Richards. Yeah, and then she obviously, she's like saying to her mate, go on, skedaddle kind of thing. And she goes in and speaks to Lombardo, and she stood there all fucking wet and lovely. And I'm like, fucking hell, this is very confusing, right? I know this should be so wrong, but it is a little bit saucy, isn't it? It's a bit titillating, Chris. And then she fucking puts on a great performance, doesn't she? Because she runs out like she's been like she has been attacked and assaulted. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking taking a turn. This is not what I was expecting. And then, she lets her mum know who he'd seen ploughing the pool guy or whatever.
Well, he's a good-looking guy, the tennis coach. But, I mean, was it necessary? We got a full-on... The mum from nowhere. We've never even seen her in any of the movies. She's fucking riding that guy like she's playing fucking Buckaroo, isn't she? So she's straight on it. And then she comes afterwards. Well, I think she came at the time, but then she comes to see the daughter afterwards, and it's like, what the fuck's going on here? And then... You get the crying. I thought Mum was a terrible actress, to be honest, Dave, because Denise Richards' character is obviously putting on this crying, and she's like, "I've been raped," and it's like, and she word for word, and then Neve Campbell, who we'd seen earlier, Matt Dillon and Lombardo tried to pick her up, and she'd fucked him off because she was fixing this Jeep, hadn't she? And she got it running two completely opposite girls at the school. One's like the sorority fucking cheerleader, the other one's the goth and all that, But it was It was very interesting, that scene, and when she's talking to the daughter, and right, that's it, and then you've got Robert Wagner there from Heart to Heart, Dave. He's in it.
Number 2 from Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, sorry,
97 as well.
Yes, we've probably got that off the back of that, but then you've got the great when it all comes to pass, and he gets like put in jail, doesn't he? And then he's on trial. But Bill Murray, who is a supporting character, who's only in it for about half an hour, really, isn't he? Which is really interesting for Bill Murray to do a show like this, a movie like this.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want a lawyer when you're accused of a sex crime, who do you call? Peter Venkman.
The man who can, Dave, who tries, he's 50 years old, trying with 18-year-old. Scott Weatherly, if you're listening, I still should have won that Comics on Trial. The Venkman files, that's what he's done, Dave, hasn't he? He's gone on undercover, he thinks, well, so I don't get caught, I'm going to become a lawyer myself. The fucking sex pest Peter Venkman. What a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, I thought it was going to... I thought this is going to age fucking badly, because as soon as the accusation is made, the police lady, she's like, oh, she's probably lying. I'm just looking at Gloria. She's like, oh, she could be making it up. I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is going to age that well, and I'd forgotten about, anything in the trailer where there might have been some sort of double cross or anything like that. So I thought it was going to age badly. But again, it's like when we said about Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley, Kevin Bacon turns up and I can't help but feel you're going to be a baddie. And I don't know if it's not like he's always played baddies or something. It's just something now watching it where I'm like, yeah, you're going to turn out to be a bit of a bastard, I think. Because in the first half of the movie, he looks like he's on the side of the righteous, isn't he? He's actually just trying to solve the case or whatever. It actually motors along for me in I'd say the first hour, because I think, again, honestly, Chris, this has got so many twists and turns, and I went along with every single one, not having a fucking clue what was going on or where it was going to go. So I must admit, I wasn't expecting to really be invested in the plot. I thought I was going to be really invested in other things. But yeah, I think it was a story. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. And I think you're right. On the back end of like the court case, he gets damages. The mum's got to sign it off. And when Lombardo's back at his house, and then she pays Denise Richards, and she's like, I think, and even then I was still, I knew what was going to happen, but it's very well done. If you've never seen this before, that reveal is just first class, and you're like, holy shit. And obviously, like you said, we're about an hour into the movie, so really that would be something at the end of the movie, and under normal circumstances, wouldn't it? The full twist and everything. But then Neve Campbell's character comes in, and she's the same, like, 3 ways, and he's like, no, fuck that, but I do think at this point, Lombardo, you can see, I kept thinking he's played them both here. I think he's played them both. He's not interested. But then we get the whole threesome scene, which
Yeah. Tell us more about that, Chris.
Tell me more.
I mean, for the cinematography and lighting perspective, clearly, I can imagine you studied this quite a few times.
No comment. But anyway, so I'll ask a question, Dave. You know, when we were growing up, right, and you watch stuff, and there'd be films of like Saint Trinians and all that. I think we mentioned this before on the podcast. Like, there's this weird thing, and you see people at fancy dress, and the women get dressed up as schoolgirls and all that, and then you'd watch stuff. But when you look at it now, and I think, but that's just fucking weird. Do you not think that now? I just, you know, I've got a daughter myself, you know, and you have it. But I just think if I didn't, I'd still be like, you'd watch them movies or you see people doing it. Oh yeah, I've gone as a thing. He loves me dressed up as a school. And you're like, but that's fucking weird. Hello, have you checked the hard drive? You know what I mean? It's like that. I just don't. So that's when I'm conflicted, because she's dressed up like a schoolgirl, isn't she, when they're doing that? Which I'm not. I think watching it now, it really stands out more than anything. It's of its time. Like you say, she's an older actress, but yeah, at the time, it's I think now watching it, it's really difficult to be subjective on that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's something, a complete tangent, right? So obviously we closed out Love Island last week, and I was trying to find some sound samples of John Lydon when he was with the Sex Pistols. Not one of the like songs or anything, but just something. I was trying to find like a little soundbite that I could use for the end of season song. And I came across this infamous interview they did with the BBC. And like it was about how rotten they were and, you know, how terrible they were and stuff. But I'm watching it, and the guy, the interviewer, again, he must have been late 40s, early 50s, probably about our age, Chris, but, you know, he's got the proper suit on, the comb over, fucking sleazy BBC fucking presenter-looking douchebag. And it's the way he turns from the band, and then there's one of the girls in the background who's got, like, peroxide blonde hair and stuff, and he's just, like, you know, asking her some questions, and she said, oh, you know, I watch you on TV all the time. And he's like, oh, maybe we should discuss that later. You know, something like that. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm sure at the time, you know, like say the way it was reported was how terrible the fucking Sex Pistols were and everything. And I'm like, shit, like, that was in plain sight right there all this time, right? And it was just a weird thing. I'll have to send you the clip and see what you think about it. But again, yeah, I think that, I mean, this is late fucking 90s, isn't it? You know, I'm talking about something in the 70s. But yeah, I don't think it does age badly. But had I seen this a bit at the time, Chris, I don't think I'd have cared.
No, me too. Exactly the same. But I think for the story, it just works because you see the jealousy between the girls, don't you? Like they're vying for his attention. You know, he's dominated him and he's coerced them into this whole deception. She hates her mum, Kelly, doesn't she? So she's like, yeah, fuck the bitch, you know, and all this. So this is though where that whole jealousy thing unravels, done it. So you get Kelly and Susie end up in the pool together, and that's like the shot into it and all that. And they're sort of they have a bit
That was ridiculous, that bit. I think there's so much of this movie that's done well, but that was almost soap opera to me, where they're like, you know, they're almost trying to murder Kelly, you know, trying to drown her at one point, and then they start kissing. Like, look, Teenage Dave in particular would have fucking loved this, but it just seemed ridiculous to me watching it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's that's purely playing to the cinema, that, isn't it? For the shock. That's just for the shock value to tell everyone there's that scene. But then it does. It sort of that happens. But then she gets killed, Susie, doesn't she? You know, Neve Campbell. You know, she's dead. And then you get her and Sam sort of together. Kelly and Sam together, they've disposed of a body and all this sort of thing, you know, and they find like teeth and, you know, to identify the body. But you've always got Kevin Bacon's character, you know, Ray, he's always there asking the questions. And I'm like you watching this even now, forgetting that it's so unusual for him to be a goodie. I mean, we've just watched Beverly Hills Cop. We did it as a late fees, didn't we? The new one. And he's the baddie in it. You know, and you can just tell within 20 seconds who the baddie is. You know, like it's so obvious who the baddie is. We watched actually last week, me and Sam watched the new Bad Boys, and it's really good actually. I really enjoyed it. But you can tell within the first 2 scenes who the baddie is. You know, like, so with Kevin Bacon, I'm like, he's a fucking baddie. What's going on here? He's not a likable cop, is he? He's a bit of a lech. He knows everyone in this little like community. It's very fucking isolated in it. Everyone knows each other, you know, so very incestuous. But I can't, and honestly, it's mad because even though I know what's sort of coming, I still think it's delivered really well. There's about 4 or 5 twists that you're not expecting. It's almost like wrestling, Dave. You know, when they turn heel and face, and they literally in the space of one match, you can go from a baddie to a goodie to a baddie, or a goodie to a baddie. You know, it's mad in this, the different twists. But I do think it's executed really well. I mean, the review wise, it's at about between 50-60%. But I think watching it, I think this does stand up. I think like, what is it? 26 years later, it's still really, really good movie.
I think it's almost downgraded because of the sexual stuff and because that's sort of what it's known for. But I agree. I think all the twists and turns are really good. And I guess this isn't my kind of go-to movie, I guess. So maybe this is like a dime a dozen. There's lots of movies like this where, you know, there's all these twists and stuff. But I genuinely was going along with all of it. And when they killed off Susie, I mean, you say about Kevin Bacon, there was some dialogue between her and between Susie and Bacon that, you know, there's obviously something that had happened before. You know, before the movie between them two, and you know, Susie's mate had obviously been killed, and so there's little clues there. But when they get away with the money essentially, and you get Kevin Bacon's dong in the shower, which was an unintentional nudity scene apparently, but you get Sam and like Kevin's just there in the shower. I mean, bit weird anyway, but you're like, what the fuck? He's in on it as well. You know, and I'm thinking, I can't help but feel like, you know, obviously a few million is a lot of money, but I can't help but feel it is quite an effort for once you've split it out between everyone. It's not like you can retire then and go off, is it? I don't know. Could you? It seems like to me, you know, I'd be after a little bit more money than that potentially, but yeah, I hadn't seen the Kevin Bacon thing, but it's not that long before, you know, he ends up killing off Kelly, is it?
Yeah, and obviously he ain't supposed to kill her, but he does. And again, completely forgot about that bit, Dave. You know, because that's what ruins the whole relationship, doesn't it, with Sam? Once
I thought you were going to say the movie for me.
Well, yeah, it does actually, but no, he doesn't. The relationship with Sam has gone then, because they were going to try and frame her. He had video files saying like she was fucking files on saying how she was violent at school, very troubled. You know, because we get the little bit of plot device about a dad who just killed herself. Which, let's be honest, when a mum's talking at the start, very passive, but towards the daughter, because she's like, you know, about a dad. She went, well, it's not my fault he decided to kill himself. Not like my daughter's got PTSD. She's lost her dad. What's going on? She's so fucking involved in herself. So you've got all that with Kelly's character going on. But yeah, when obviously Ray takes one to the shoulder, then that's the kill. It's self-defense. And you're thinking, well, he's obviously going to get framed for this. But no, he loses his job, but he doesn't actually get charged, does he? So, and again, that community where they live, that incestuous community, the mum, everything. I thought it was a really good thing that they were together in it, even if the shower scene is a little bit strange.
Yeah, and then obviously when you get them in the boat, you know, and they're going off like bros, they're gonna sail off into the sunset with all this money. But then what I like is by the time you've had a few twists, you're sort of expecting more twists then. It's kind of calibrated you. So you're thinking, well, these two guys surely don't trust each other. The way it's all gone, you're thinking, oh, what's going to happen here? And so, he ends up killing off Bacon. And then I'm like, oh, fucking hell, well, Sam's got off there. He just sails off into the sunset. He's the last man standing with all of the money and stuff. Then the next minute, fucking Susie appears, and I'm like, what? I get no idea. She's got the kind of blonde hair. She's sort of obviously trying to cover up her lifestyle because, of course, they can only live in Blue Bay, it seems. They can't, bugger off to somewhere else in the world. So she has to, make sure she disguises herself there. But yeah, I didn't see that coming. And I'm like, fucking hell, how many twists has this got?
Well,
and then...
yeah. No, you're right. The mid-credit scenes, fucking hell. You think you're done. She's got, the blonde wig's horrendous in it. But when she's on the rock, but you do think, oh, she's gone here. That's it. She's got away, blah, blah, blah. She's done Ray and Sam's gone and all that. And then it's like, well, hang on a minute. She's some sort of psychological fucking mastermind, isn't she? Psychologist. Yeah. Sam and Kelly are having a bit. She blackmails him. Then she gets him to meet Ray. Then it's like Ray shoots him. He shoots her first and then fucking shoots his own shoulder. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? So yeah, so that was really good because a lot, like you say, a lot of the stuff that we see with the blood and different things was all off camera, and it made sense now, doesn't it? Almost, Dave. I'm going to throw this one at you, Dave. No, I'm not, because I'm going to ruin the movie that's just come out. But there's a scene in that where you think that's not happened, and then it may be revealed later on. But there you go. I'm not saying anymore. But I nearly did what I was moaning about before we started recording, Dave. Idiot. Fucking idiot I am. But yeah, so I love that mid-credit scene things. I really did, and it all made sense. And the fact that she fucks off, Dave, with a load of cash, it's almost like she's done it loads of times. And is she, even though her family are there and all that, and she's with her family, it feels as if like this was almost going to become a franchise, wasn't it, as such?
Well, it almost seems like a supervillain origin story because, the way she'd intricately knitted everything together. I like the kind of double fake, where she's chatting with Sam and he's, again, as the audience were watching it, and the paranoia is at the maximum levels, and so she hands him the drink, and she's like, "Well, I don't even know how to sail a boat. What am I going to do?" He's like, "Oh yeah, okay." Takes a drink, and then he's the last piece of the puzzle, so he's kind of killed off as well. You're like, "Fucking hell!" And like you say, you got all the mid-credit scenes after that, and so. Yeah, I just thought it was really well done. And I tell you, one of the things we've not talked about is just the music in this. I think it's amazing. It's done by George S. Clinton. But I think the score is so good, in terms of just setting the atmosphere, whether, they're trying to ramp up the tension or, you've got some sexiness, some sauciness on the camera. I just think the music was all done really, really well.
Yeah, it was. I think it sets it all together perfect, doesn't it? That whole crime thriller feel. And we've done a few movies like this now. I agree. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So anything else, Dave, or should we get into the scores?
Let's get into the scores, George Dawes.
That's the first time we've done that. Right, anyway. So, Dave, for me, I really enjoyed it. Helen's picked a cracker here. Movie that definitely still stands up after all this time. Forget, obviously the jokes about Denise Richards and all that sort of thing. She's stunning in it. But, but I think the story's really good. But I think you hit on a good point. I think the fact that it's probably known more for the sexualized stuff in the movie actually ruins the plot. And there is a really, really good story. I mean, look, fucking Muppet here said, as you said, I forgot there was a story. And that's how you feel. You see that VHS cover and you think, oh, yeah. But it is a good movie, and I think everything works. I think Matt Dillon's brilliant in it. He's the sleazy, cool as fuck fucking teacher, you know what I mean? And he just thinks like he's just above everyone. So I think it all unravels in the mid-credit scenes, but for the whole movie, I'm in on it. So I think I'm going to put it, Dave, in Hill Valley at the top, though. It's a great movie, and I would definitely, if someone was to watch it, I'd watch it again, definitely. But yeah, I think it does stand the test of time. So I think I'm glad Helen's picked it. I'm glad we've done it as well. So what about yourself?
Yeah, sometimes we go back and we'll watch something and you have to mark it down because you didn't watch it at the time and you don't have the nostalgia. So you watch it now and you think, this hasn't aged well. But I can imagine if I watched it at the time, I'd have enjoyed it a lot more. For me, this one's almost had the opposite effect. I think because I've gone in thinking it's one thing and it's not. It's this intricate crime thriller that's cleverly done, and I think the acting, it sort of is what it is when it comes to Denise Richards, isn't it? But I think like Neve Campbell is great. You said about Matt Dillon, Kevin Bacon. I think they all play very good characters, and I think the way it's all knitted together and it all kind of comes together at the end, and then it's all that, the multiple reveals, and it just sort of keeps you guessing. So I'm going to put it a bit higher. I'm going to put it in Pleasantville. I really, really enjoyed this. Now, I don't know how many more times I'll watch it again. It's certainly not one I'll be introducing the kids to. And I did see, actually, that Denise Richards, she's got kids now, and so they'd been watching it apparently, but she wasn't that happy about it, which I can imagine. But yeah, I think it's really good. I think the music is great. I think that definitely elevates the movie as well. But yeah, I think this is a bit underrated, this one. I think it's definitely looked down upon, I think, because of the sexiness of it. But no, it really, really stands up well, apart from what we talked about before.
No, good stuff. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And, Dave, we go from one extreme to the other. So our good friend Glyn Davis on Patreon, it's his pick next week. And he's picked a movie, Dave, from 1986. And just having a quick blimp at some of the reviews, this is a movie working from a script which must have been scrolled in Crayola, Dave. So I think this is one of the worst reviewed movies ever. It stars, Dave, Jason Patric. It's a Mel Brooks Brooks Films movie. We're going back for a movie that has three names. Now, whether they give it three names because it was so bad they were trying to repackage it, I don't know. It was known as Solar Warriors, Solar Fighters, but most importantly, Dave, it's known as Solar Babies. So let's get into the trailer.
They drained the ponds and the streams, covered the lakes, and even the ocean, so no water could evaporate into the air. They caused the drought so they can control our lives. You can't beat them.
Protectorate visionaries eventually planned a totally altered Earth, and even
it's like fucking hair flick from a lower low.
You just say that, doesn't it? Good morning.
In a perfectly restructured world.
Is it fallen Madonna with the big boobies?
Big boobies, yes. British cop used to piss me right off.
Yeah. Definitely playing on the Nazi themes there, aren't they?
Yeah.
There has got to be a place to go.
From a distant star, a powerful force will come to Earth.
Okay, well, they can make any old shit here, won't they?
They call this force Bodai.
You know what? I don't think this is going to age well, but in 86, I'd have been lapping this up.
I was going to say, this is you, innit? All of you.
We're going to get Bodai.
It's unanimous. We go.
Oh, skaters, Dave.
Yeah. Like Return of the Jedi.
Fucking motorbikes with a bit of plastic round with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna hate every minute. Fucking Glim. You're a son of it.
Oh, spoiler alert, they obviously make it to some water.
Yeah.
Why did they play that very last scene in the trailer?
I fucking don't know. That is
honestly
anyway.
Bit of apocalyptic sci-fi nonsense, and I fucking love this back in the day.
Honestly, it's the first thing I thought. The first 20 seconds of the trailer was like, I can't believe you've never watched. This is you, 100% your bag, this, Dave. But anyway, thanks, Glyn, for that, mate. Really, thanks. So we'll be doing that one next week. But if you want to email us, the vhsstrikesback@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media at vhsstrikesback, please drop us a review on the podcast, guys. We'd appreciate it. It just gets us up the charts. And just before I do the old Patreon roll call of honor, Dave. So if you don't support us, get over to patreon.com/the VHS Strikes Back. No Retreat, No Surrender 3, Dave.
Okay.
We are, my friend, we are at 83,000
Jesus Christ
views. So that has gone up by about 20,000. But I just wanted to just to sort of, some of the newer comments we've had, Dave, because I haven't actually looked at any of them. One of them is background voice is very stupid, which is Russian for very slow. So I think that's a bit of an insult. Then we've got nice moves, but the two idiots who are talking and laughing make the video boring. Then we've got these guys make me dream. So I don't know what's going on, whether that's us. And then there was one 3 weeks ago. It says, is it for sale? If it's for sale, how much and where is it? So I don't know what that means, Dave, but thanks very much. And it's probably
Google, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
On Blu-ray.
83,000. So we're actually going to hit 100,000 on this the way it's going. That is unbelievable. So thank you to everyone who's watched it. And by the looks of it, everyone who's also hated us talking about it. But that's the whole point of a watch-along, people. It does say with commentary. If you want to rip off a movie, you can buy this for about fucking £4 on DVD if you're that desperate. But thank you for supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
I'm still waiting for the follow-up, because remember Lauren Avedon's post that basically if someone picked this up, then the money just makes itself, or something like that, wasn't it, that he said?
Don't be slating him, Dave. Don't you dare be slating him. I mean, I saw
it was his birthday this last week, as we record now.
I did, Dave. Yeah, I was there celebrating with him and over in America. But Keith Vitale's making a movie with the guy out at King of the Kickboxers. Is it Keith Thingy, the guy who's like the master, the drunken master? He's making some sort of cowboy movie with him. They had like the cowboy outfits on, so I don't know. It must be a martial arts movie of some sort. So
maybe one that we haven't put on, and actually I need to add it to the list to make sure I remember about it. But I think it's Wheels on Meals or Meals on Wheels or something like that. The old Jackie Chan movie. Yeah. So Keith Vitale's the baddie in that. So I have to cover that at some point.
Oh, I've not seen it. I've seen the trailer. I've never watched that. Oh, nice. Yeah, we'll have that. But anyway, Dave, so let's give everyone a big thank you. And Glyn, we do thank you, my friend, but I'm not sure about this Solar Babies. But anyway, so massive thank you to John, Mike, Lee, Helen, Dillon, Stephen, Trent, Dan, Justin, Susan, Timothy, Matt, Hales, Kent, Lucky Lulu Green, Herb, Jack, Math, Blake, John Hammond, Mr. Glyn Davis, and Mr. Tony Freena. And also, on a side note, congratulations to Mike Burton, one of our great friends and patrons from Genuine Chit Chat podcast. He's just got married to his wonderful Megan in Las Vegas, which I watched and was very envious. So I give him loads of tips. They've had a great time and they're still out there. So well done, guys, and congratulations.
No, it was amazing. I was out in real time, but I watched it after. So absolutely amazing. Such a great couple. I just, so happy for them. It's great stuff. And obviously doing it in Vegas as well. Your favorite place in the world, Chris.
Well, I'm there next month, my friend. So they're keeping them slots warm for me. I will be there. I cannot wait. I'll be spamming social media like there's no tomorrow. I cannot wait. Oh, brilliant.
Awesome. Well, Chris, for our little musical number today, with the title Wild Things, I don't know if you ever did this. Did you ever play Wild Thing on the guitar? It's like one of the easiest things in the world. So when you very first start playing guitar, like basically if you just make an A chord and take your fingers off, you can do the old do 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 do, Wild Thing. I think I love it. So I was thinking, right, let's go 60s. Let's go proper, hard rock in the 60s. The kind of Trugs, the Animals, all things like that. We used to do. What did we do in the band? Is it all day and all the night?
Yeah, both of them
Kinks,
really got
that
me.
was it. Yeah, you really got me. That was the other. I preferred that one, to be honest. But yeah, so that kind of hard rock sound. And I just put some little touches on at the end, little samples as well to take us back to certain moments of the movie, Chris.
Yeah, love it.
All right, so here we go.
Hi, Mr. Lombardo.
Hey, girls. So sleazy, that, isn't it?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Yeah. Fucking knickers.
Your coupon. We gotta have it.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Could have been playing this one in the band as well, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Proper Hendrix, this, Dave.
Yeah.
Is there some reason why you're here?
Curiosity, I guess.
About what? How to improve your breaststroke?
They say he's a predator. He knows he should call. He's a big Mr. Man because he's seen it all.
There you go, Chris.
Unbelievable. Jimi Hendrix, eat your heart out. Unbelievable. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Dave.
Well, obviously, there's quite a bit of innuendo in that song. But, Chris, I believe you have a song for us as well.
Well, Dave, Now, obviously, you are the AI master when it comes to these, these songs and that, without doubt. But I have been working on a little song. Now, it is quite a personal song for myself, Dave. It's about my journey into sort of adolescence, adulthood, when, I got stirrings and I wasn't sure what they were, Dave. So this is a song that is very real. It's got a lot of meaning and a lot of heart, shall we say, Dave?
Is there a lot of lyrical nuance to it?
There is actually, yeah, there is. No, it's not a rock song. We just showed that brilliant Jimi Hendrix style song. Then this is more a sort of a sing-along song, one that'll stick in your head, Dave. And this is all about, and it's called "The Journey of My Shoulder." So hit the music.
Felt the tremor in my bones, only I could know. In the shadows of my mind, I'm ready to go. Unlock the secrets that I hold so tight. In moments of bliss that a pen will light. Kleenex in hand, it's a solo fight. Passionate flames burning.
Here we go.
So bright. Brace myself for the coming tide. A wrist endurance, a shoulder's pride. In this jazz, my soul's confide. The rhythm of life I can't deny.
Here we go.
I woke one day and the sun was shining, but my pants was bulging like a rocket lolly. On a sunny day, I went into the toilet, rode cowboy on the seat, and boy did I. My shoulder bone was grinding as my wrist began to hurt, but boy did I enjoy it. And so began my life's journey to wank every day. Kleenex door lock, drop them boy and pull that shoulder out. Man. Kleenex door lock, drop them boy and pull that shoulder out. Man.
I love it how it's that kind of Beatles.
Yeah.
Until you hit the moon, man. Shoulder surgery.
Lyrical genius.
Art is hard to hide when you're doing press-ups at 12 a.m. From RTL to Tutti Frutti to Jet and Pam. My shoulder has took some pounding. One day I want a sponsorship from Kleenex or a friction burn to believe it, from Bob on to a shrimp dick. It's all about the motion and the lotion, man. But boy, did I enjoy it, and so began my life's journey to wank every day. Kleenex door lock, drop them boy and pull that shoulder out, man. Kleenex door lock, drop them boy and pull that shoulder out.
Pull that shoulder out.
Pull your shoulder out until you hit the moon, man. Shoulder surgery, income in life.
Bit of trumpet, Dave.
I can almost see the Beatles in their Sgt. Pepper outfits bobbing their head.
You know how many times I played it in the street, Tell you what, Bernie Taupin's fucking shitting himself any of these lyrics. Soft Sgt. Pepper, this one.
Yeah.
Here we go. Big ending now. Here we go.
The big finish.
Yeah.
Shot.
Kleenex door lock,
Door lock,
pull that
boy, pull that shoulder. Oh, Dave, he was doing it in the band.
door lock, drop boy and pull that shoulder out, man. And so began my life's journey to wank every day, baby.
I had to put a baby in for you at the bottom.
baby.
I played it about fucking 50 times. I could sing that without even looking at the fucking lyrics. I was writing stupid things down, and then it was like, hang on, Hang on, right? That works. There's about 50 versions of it. Honestly, I've had so much fun. So much fun doing that. Yes.
And, timing-wise, couldn't have landed on a better episode, really.
Well, it's almost like I did it on purpose, but I didn't. But there you go.
Or it just came to you. But,
literally. Yes, it did, Dave.
Yeah. And I do, a bit like on No Retreat, No Surrender 3, I have to ask you, how did you get on with watching Three Men and a Little Lady?
Dave, I was too busy writing my masterpiece here. Elton John will be picking this one up. The Journey of My Shoulder. It is actually up on Udio, or whatever it's called, the AI platform, Dave, and it's had 15 views when I last looked at it, and probably 14 of them were from me and one was from you. But it doesn't matter, Dave. It could be a Christmas #1. Let's just pray. Okay.
I can't help but feel like Black Lace or something would do it a good version.
What a catchy thing! Oh, Kleenex door, drop the boy and pull your shoulder out, man.
It being played at the social clubs and everyone sort of singing along to it merrily.
Yeah, but then people, some old granny there, and they're going, "Mum, do you know what this actually means?" What? And then they tell them, that's disgusting, but then still singing away, Dave, arms waving. You can see it. End of the night. I can just see it now. Oh, I've missed me calling.
Amazing. All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for that. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back. That's not.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go.
All right. Ding, ding.
Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on, ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid fool. Maybe you crazy something. I ain't breathing heavy. He's a fool. He's stupid. I've seen you in 6 months.
I must break you.